Welcome back to my channel. I'm here this time with my husband Jake. I figured the next best video that I could do would be one to introduce him and talk a little bit about our story, about how we met, how Evelyn came to be. Basically, Jake and I grew up together in a small little town. Is that the right way?
Yeah.
The Mitten.
Yeah.
Milan. And we were friends. We lived in a small town, like I said, so everybody knew everybody, and we lived in the same neighborhood, so we played a lot of capture the flag and riding bikes and all the fun stuff that you do in elementary/middle school. It's good times.
Yeah. So yeah, we've known each other since, what would that be, 3rd grade?
Probably about 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
You were a grade younger than me.
I was a grade younger
was a
than you.
baby.
And when did you move to Milan?
In 3rd grade.
In 3rd grade, yep. And I went to all of my elementary school and junior high in Milan, so.
So a long time.
Yeah, I think that when we really started to hang out and become friends more in middle school.
Yeah, for sure.
And that would have been like 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
Yep.
And yeah, so basically I always had a huge crush on her. And
Which I to this day don't understand how or why, because I was the most awkward looking 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th,
Yeah.
9th grader.
Yeah, I liked
had a
the way she
unibrow
looked.
and
so.
like crazy teeth.
But yeah.
And he was very fancy. He
Yeah.
always had his hair like perfectly done, not a hair out of place.
I won King of Hair Gel one year for my collections, actually.
That's perfect.
But yeah, so obviously at that age everything is just like young puppy love.
Yeah,
like,
and I was boy
date
crazy.
somebody for a week type thing, but
Yeah.
we were always really good friends. Like she said, we would play capture the flag at night, we'd rollerblade. We lived in, Milan was such a small city that we could run from one end to the other, and it was,
It was so fun.
all the neighborhood kids, like us running around, knocking on each other's doors, asking if we could play, yada, yada, yada. So, let's see, fast forward a little bit, Angie and I did date for a little while, like, obviously,
A brief amount of time.
a brief amount of time, and she broke up with me on AIM. Actually, so this is a good story, is that we had dial-up internet at my house, so you could either be on the internet or you could use your phone, and this is when AOL Instant Messenger was really big and popular, and Angie was breaking
Little
up
Runner
with me
06.
on this AOL Instant Messenger, and it was me freaking out on the other side because I knew it was happening, but my mom needing to use the phone at the same time, and she totally pulled the plug.
Luckily, it all worked out.
Whatever,
For us.
but we always stayed friends, and then when we turned, right after I turned 14, moved up to Traverse City, Michigan, which is up here.
Back then too.
That
it was sad.
Yeah.
I had to ride my bike over to your house to say goodbye to you.
Yeah, I was pretty excited to move, actually, though. So I was moving to like our vacation spot as a family, and where my grandma used to take me all the time and all that. So I was excited to move, and that was at the end of 8th grade. So I was moving to Traverse City to start my high school experience in a new city. And
Didn't you think it was going to be high school, and it actually wasn't, though?
yeah, so downstate.
This is horrible.
Yeah, so downstate you started high school in 9th grade, and then when I moved up here, you didn't start high school until 10th grade, so really I was in what they called up here junior high. So downstate it was called middle school, which was 5th through 8th grade. Then you went to high school 9th through 12th, but
That's
up
such a
here it was
bummer.
junior high, so it was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And then you went to high school, which I think was a good thing for me. Now it's changed up here too, so now that 9th grade is in high school. But I kind of got to...
Just imagine, though, like, thinking you're, like,
yeah.
getting ready to go into high school, and you move away, and you're, like, back in middle school, basically.
Yeah, but I think it was a good thing because I got to kind of be the top dog in the school instead of being, like,
Yeah,
a brand
that's
new
true.
in a
You
new
got a
city,
year
being
of-
a freshman and
Yeah, got a year of that.
all that. So basically through all of that, though, then we
we hardly talked at all.
Yeah, we would talk at like later on through social media a little bit, through Facebook and things like that here and there, like each other's pictures and comment on each other's stuff. And
oh my gosh, I thought his little boy was so cute. He had such a cute little like family, and I would always be like, whoa, he's all grown up. Yeah. He has a baby now. It's crazy.
So that's kind of, we both went through
we both
high school and lots of life after high school without talking really, and not even, I mean, like I said, here and there, but I don't know, I kind of always kept my eye on her a little bit through social media and whatnot, because we were friends and I wanted to see what she was doing and what she was up to and that kind of thing.
On me?
A little bit of creeping, I guess. So basically, I was in a really long relationship and had my beautiful son Sebastian, and she was in her relationship, and she had Aiden, and the relationship that I was in ended up not being a good relationship, and I guess kind of went not the way that relationships are supposed to go, even though like thought it was what I wanted. And fast forward further than that, I guess, to how we reconnected is that my son Sebastian has a degenerative retinal disease called retinitis pigmentosa. So I have to travel down to U of M a lot so that he can get the testing and the treatment and see the best doctors that we can. And I had been going on those trips for about a year at least, and then me and my ex had been separated for a year, maybe a little bit more than that, and I was going on these appointments, and one time I was on my way down to go to one of these appointments, and I thought maybe I should reach out to Angie. And actually, like, it is so super corny. Wrote a message and like waited to send it. Like, should I send it? I don't know if I should send it. I don't know if this is weird. Like, yada yada yada. So finally, I just got the courage and I sent it.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Hang out and catch up, and I'm gonna be in Ann Arbor.
It was like so out of the blue. I just remember like getting the message and just being like, what? Like, Jake Dunn? No way. And I like called my mom right away.
I'm doing my mom.
Because me and my mom are really close. So I called her and told her, and she was like, oh my gosh, Jake Dunn?
Yeah.
You better go see him. He was your best friend. I was like, I know, I'm going to. I was nervous though. It had been so long. I was just like, what are we gonna talk about?
I was super nervous too, especially like those appointments are always try to make the best of them, but it's obviously something that's not really like a fun thing to go do. I always tried to make the best of it, but it was kind of hard. But it was nice because my brother and my sister-in-law were able to watch Sebastian for a little while, and while we were able to have dinner, and at that point in time we both drank, so we had some drinks.
I have to rewind and talk about like the moment I saw you again, because it was so crazy.
Yeah.
I just remember walking into the restaurant and like the bar restaurant area and like looking for you, and I'm just peeking around and you turned around, and it was, I still remember how weird that was because I hadn't seen you in so long and you didn't look any different. Like, you look at this baby face. I mean, he just shaved his mustache.
Yeah.
I told him he did it for this video, but he has a baby face and it hadn't changed at all, but he stood up and you weren't like, were you short back then, kind of? I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm the same size as him now.
Not in middle school.
Oh, no, yeah, I was very short.
I'm not talking about on our date.
Yeah. No, I was super short. I was always the really short kid.
Okay. I remember you being really like small and short and just this little scrawny.
No, I was always one of the smaller kids. I didn't like.
Well, he was not.
I was a late.
Anymore.
I was a late bloomer. Like,
you were a man.
I didn't like finish growing until like 21 or something crazy.
Yeah.
But
he grew up, and it was just wild to see him again like that, just like, all those years later. But I honestly feel like I knew right away, though, when we started talking, that like we were meant to meet back up.
Yeah, no.
We like cried I cried. I don't remember if you did, but I cried hearing about Sebastian and just your life, and like it was emotional for me to just rekindle and reconnect, and I immediately felt very like invested in your life.
Yeah, it was really good. Especially like leading
really
up to it, I was super nervous too and didn't know how it was gonna go, and like conversation and yada yada yada, but it all was like nothing had changed. Just, you know, it was cool. It was really good. So from there it was like obviously I had to go back home, and then it was like
4-hour difference.
Yeah, it was us continuing to talk, and then me making like another trip down. Now that, you know, obviously the appointments for Sebastian at that point were like every 3 to 6 months. So, but I started driving down like every weekend I could. I would go see my brother, and so
I'm pretty sure we saw each other after that.
Yeah,
we saw each other like every weekend.
Yeah, so I started driving down like every weekend, and I would stay for like a day and then stay with my brother and see Angie, and then
I worked at the hospital at the time, so I would work, I think I was working 10-hour shifts then.
12-hour shifts.
Were they 12?
I think, yeah.
10 or 12-hour shifts, and so he would come down, and I would pretty much spend most of the time that he would be down working, and then the small amount of free time I would have, we would spend it together.
Yeah, I spent more time driving than we did together, actually. But
it was so romantic.
Yeah, it was all worth it.
Yeah. We'll have to do a video on how to navigate through long-distance dating, because that was tough.
Yeah.
But it was pretty, I mean, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. It worked out really well. I mean, obviously we didn't let it last too long, because then if we go for it a little bit more, I don't even know how long it was, but
we pretty much made the decision to like be together forever.
Made it to be together, and that we weren't going to be in a relationship, and that it kind of seemed like crazy to think that I would be able to like that we'd be able to live together. Obviously we had doubts and thought about like, well, you know,
what if it doesn't work out?
What if it doesn't work out? How we both have kids, we both have
I really didn't have any doubts, though.
Previous relationships and things like that. But in my mind, like I was like, well, I'm gonna make it happen. But also in the back of my mind, obviously you have to try to navigate those things.
I think it was really good timing for us too, because we both had dated a lot, and you know, after our long relationships, we had tried to date, and you know, I was kind of seeing somebody at the time, even when you first reached out, and that was crazy, because I had felt like that relationship was the first relationship that I had where I took it like super slow, and it was like that relationship, he traveled, and so we didn't get as much time together as I normally would have wanted. So it allowed me to have a lot of time to myself too, which I think I really needed at that time. And then you came along, and
we didn't take things slow.
No, we didn't.
No,
But I think we were both looking. We knew exactly what we had wanted, and we finally found it in each other.
Because we both did do a lot of dating and kind of wanted.
We wanted to settle down. Like that's what we were looking for.
The kind of dating that I was doing and stuff like that wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't something where I had the common like family goals and that kind of thing, or maybe I had that in my mind, but it just didn't feel right, and this felt right. So then, I don't even know how long we were doing the long distance relationship. It wasn't, I think...
A few months, 4 months, 3 or 4 months maybe.
I think that it was probably after 6 months, then we finally, you know, you applied for jobs up here, got a job.
Yeah, I applied just to see, you know, if I could get into the hospital up here, into Munson.
And while you were actually up here visiting for one of your first times, didn't they call you while you were here?
Yeah.
They called you while you were here to get the interview while she was here visiting me, and we were taking our boys to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You know, up here at the resort in Traverse City. So it was they always, like so many things in our relationship, like just we don't believe in coincidence. It was fate.
No, it was totally fate, all of it.
yeah, still to this day, I'm sure that she'll talk about things on this channel and stuff. Like, there's just things where...
I know, it just popped in my head. I gotta tell about how you proposed and all of that. That'll be its own video because it's a long one, but that's a good story. He did a good job. Yeah, that's our history. We go way back.
We go way back, and then we had a lot of time apart, and then picked right back up, except as adults, and both going through the life that I think we needed to go through before we settled down, and we had to learn our wrongs and
I'm so
what we
thankful
wanted.
that we did that without each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because had we not been through all the failed relationships and like made our mistakes along the way with other people, we might not have made it together, you know, because we both went through some things where we could have easily been together and been failed just like everything else we had experienced, you know, just the way.
So a lot of things, and we're still learning a lot and going through a lot. I mean, we've been married for 2 years. We've been together again since everything for 3, just over 3, and even in that short amount of time, like the places we've gone and like where we've come in life, and I know that we'll talk about our faith, and it's just crazy to think about how much we both changed individually but together, and like lifestyles and family and our faith and everything. So
it's interesting too, because I look back and I feel like when we first got together, I felt like we were so perfect. Like, we were so good. And we were so good. I had no idea how much better it could be from that point. Yeah. Like, we've changed so much for the better. And it's...
I thought I had a lot of things figured out. And
yeah, me too.
We both had, like, our lives that we thought were put together, but us coming together kind of, like, broke us both down and kind of...
In the best way, though.
Yeah, broke us down. Well, I mean, and we had to see a lot of the wrongs in each other, too, but it also was, like, helped us create, like, one good, solid...
One cohesive union.
Yeah. So, we both...
We brought out the best in each other.
We make each other better people, and we had to see the worst in each other and love each other through it all to become the couple that we are.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. You said it best.
I guess. Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it anyways, without making this another 36-minute video.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at these videos yet, so...
Neither of us are. This is
practice
new.
For me. Yeah, so.
This guy's gonna get on the pulpit one day. Mark my words.
We'll see.
No pressure. So yeah, with that, I guess we'll just wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Until our next one. Yeah. Are we gonna use our outro?
Sure.
Oh, we gotta tell them about that. About our outro, or do we wait? We just keep using it.
It's up to you. If you could do your own video on that.
All right. Well, with that, then.
Our work is never done.
Our work is never done. Bye.
Bye.